Welcome to my show. I'm Dr. Cindy Trimm. I have a serious question to ask you, and I want you to really think about it. Have you ever felt powerless? Does it seem like you've lost control of your life, or like your life may be spiraling out of orbit, or maybe it feels like everyone else around you is successful or prosperous, but it just hasn't happened to you yet? Well, I want you to discover how to get the most out of every single day of your life. I want you to regain that confidence and control that you once had. And I want you to be able to squeeze every drop of life out of every single hour and every second out of every single moment. I want you to know what it feels like to get up out of bed every single morning, excited and energized and ready to take on the whole world. And you might ask, okay, calm it down a little bit. How am I going to do that? How am I going to shake off that powerless feeling? I promise you, right here, you will have victory over this when you get an understanding of your true purpose. Purpose is that hidden seed of greatness. And when you know your purpose, your life will finally come right into focus. Listen, I woke up this morning excited. In fact, I wake up every single day excited because I know my life has direction and I know where I'm going. And today, guess what? I'm here to help you find your own purpose, and we're going to do it together. So are you ready? Let's get started. You were created with a purpose. In fact, everything that God created was created with a purpose. Purpose is the why something exists. It is the raison d'être, like the French would say it. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a purpose for everything under the heaven. Everything that exists in the universe was created to fulfill a purpose. Your eyes see, your feet walk, your lungs breathe, your teeth chew. Trees produce fruit, plants photosynthesize the carbon monoxide that we breathe out and converts it into oxygen that we later breathe in. So purpose is the why, that big why for you being alive. And when you find your why, the when, the what, the how takes care of themselves. When you discover your purpose, you will act decisively. You will accomplish your goals. You're going to be able to feel alive. You're going to make wise choices. You're going to know what to say no to. Knowing what to say no to gives you the ability to say yes, what you should say yes to. And you want to say yes to the right thing. So when we talk about purpose, it is actually one of the most important conversations we can ever have. So many people are living life based on someone else's purpose. Why would you want to be a refrigerator if God has called you to be a blender? And don't even think about being a blender if God has called you to be a microwave. And you should not even want to be a microwave if you're called to be a washing machine. In order to feel alive, you need to live life on purpose. In order to feel successful, in order for you to gain prosperity, in order for you to overcome obstacles, you need to discover your purpose. Now, in the book of Genesis, it talks to us about purpose. Nothing can begin unless God is at the beginning. Prosperity starts with God. Success starts with God too. And so let's say that when we discover God, then we are on the right track to really discovering our purpose. So when God created mankind, he purpose-built man and placed him in the Garden of Eden to fulfill his purpose. Eden comes from this Hebrew word which means pleasure spot. When we are living on purpose and when we are moving in the right direction and when we are postured in the right place, everything becomes a pleasure spot. Life becomes more pleasurable. Relationships become more pleasurable. Your work becomes more pleasurable. It is not a drudgery or boring life if you are living life on purpose. It's pleasurable. And so discovering your purpose will remove the drudgery from your work. There was a problem that purpose would solve. This is what God said to Adam. I want you to name the animals. Adam did not have to go to school to become a wordsmith or to become a zoologist or to become a mathematician. His purpose came into focus because it was a package deal. I tell you, the gifts were there, the abilities were there, the capacity was there for him to name the animals. Now, if God dropped you in the midst of an environment that required problem solving, most of us would probably think, listen, I got to find someone or I got to find something outside of me in order for me to solve this problem. But when you understand that purpose is something that God has deposited on the inside of all of us, you will no longer reach on the outside, you will begin to reach on the inside. And this is the secret of finding and discovering your purpose. This will help you to surmount every obstacle and overcome every challenge associated with every problem. Now, this is interesting because when I deal with the whole subject of purpose, people get it mixed up with destiny. And so I want to distinguish the two. Purpose is why you were born. Destiny is where you are going, where you end up. So for this particular series, we're focusing solely on purpose. Now, this is where you're going to begin to find the keys to discover your purpose right here, right now, today. Adam could face any challenge that he was confronted with in spite of the fact that he did not have education. Why? Because he was purpose-built to do something specific. God was with him. Because God is for us, who can or what can be against us? There is no such thing as a hopeless situation when you live life on purpose. Every single circumstance can be changed for the best. So here's what I want you to do. Stay tuned because I'm going to be right back to give you some more principles of how to discover your purpose. I'll be right back.
Join Dr. Cindy Trimm for these next live appearances.
I laid up all night and tried to figure out in my mind, how can I talk about purpose? And the thought came to my mind, talk about it in terms of signposts. And there were 12 signposts I want to give you that will help you and point you towards realizing your purpose. And I'm going to post these signposts by way of questions. And there are 12 questions. Question number 1, or signpost number 1. What am I passionate about? That's the first one. What am I passionate about? Listen, passion is a great indicator. And I was thinking about all the people that were passionate about what they did. One of the first people that comes to me is the Apostle Paul. He was so passionate about Christ. He not only preached about the message, he wrote the vast majority of the New Testament. Then there's Michael Jordan. Obviously, he was passionate about his sport. And Michael Jackson, he was passionate about music. I might as well go with the Michaels, right? Michael Douglas. He was passionate about film. And then there's Michelangelo, who was passionate about painting. let's just wind it forward. What about Gabby Douglas? She was so passionate about her sports that she left her parents, train for the Olympics. Now that is passion, to leave everything and everybody that you know that is familiar with you to pursue something that you're passionate about. What about Margaret Thatcher? She was passionate about her country. And then Oprah Winfrey, she is passionate about helping others. And then what about Susan Boyle? She was so passionate about her dream that she dared to stand in front of individuals who almost booed her off of the stage. But it turned around for her because she pursued her passion. And then the quintessential example that I'm going to give you is Jesus. He was passionate about the world, so he died for it. This is an indicator. Your purpose is something that you would definitely be prepared to die for. In other words, you will not be happy living until you fulfill it. That is passion. Purpose is one of those things that is identified, or you can identify through your passion as well as your ability. God hasn't given you the purpose to do everything that you're going to do and not give you the abilities to do it. To me, it just does not make sense. And so find your passion, and that is going to be one of the signposts. How do you know what your purpose is? Identify your passion. Then you might ask another question. How do I identify my passions? What incites this strong emotional response, either positively or negatively? When you have passion, you no longer are just going to be in the middle of the road, and you're going to find out you no longer are going to have time for negativities. When you have passion and when you live on purpose, you're going to be able to activate the very thing that you were created to do and built for, and that is your purpose. Your purpose is going to cause resources to flow to you, to be available to you. And that's why it's important, number one, to understand this signpost by answering the question, what am I passionate about? Let's turn to number 2, because we promised we'll give you 12. So let's go to number 2. The next question is, what ignites my interest and curiosity? So you're moving from passion to curiosity. What actually ignites it? What ignites my curiosity? Let's talk about the Wright Brothers. They changed how we traveled because of their curiosity. They pondered and they postulated. What would it be like to fly like a bird? People laughed at them, but they still took their thinking and they start tinkering. And so I want you to add tinkering to your thinking. What do you love to do? What is it that you love to do? And you know, when we talk about it, that will definitely take me to number 3. What do I love to do? What brings you joy and pleasure when you do it? Eden was a pleasure spot. Find your pleasure spot. I'm not talking about sitting at the table eating your ribs either. And I'm not talking about eating your fried chicken either. I'm talking about what brings you pleasure, what activates that excitement in you. Your purpose is directly related to what you love to do naturally. The most purposeful people in the world spend their time doing what they love to do. Jesus loved to heal people. And so that's what he did. He healed the sick. He even raised the dead. And so one of the things I found out is it's the things that you love to do. Stephen Jobs loved technology. Mother Teresa just absolutely loved to hang out with the indigent and the sick. Beethoven, obviously, he loved music. Bill Gates loved computer. And Edison loved to invent. They all tinkered with this and tinkered with that. You know, just add the tinkering to your thinking and find out what you love to do. I love empowering people. And I love to help people to discover purpose and maximize their potential. That's what I absolutely love to do. What do you love? Is it reading? Is it writing? Is it playing sports? Is it singing? Is it painting? Is it business? Is it selling? Is it talking? Is it cooking? Is it fixing broken things? Is it fixing broken people? Whatever you love, it's directly related to your purpose, directly related to your purpose. And this brings me to number 3. Number 3, the question is, what kinds of people attract your attention? I got to write this out in law. What kinds of people attract your attention? Now, I didn't ask you what kind of people are you attracted to yet. What kinds of people capture your attention? Is it actors? Is it doctors? Is it public speakers? Is it motivational specialists? Is it lawyers or dancers or preachers or missionaries or scientists or musicians or singers? What kind of people attract your attention? This is so good. I want to go to the number 4. Actually, I got to erase my little smart board because I'm writing so much here, and I got to go to number 4 so I could do this really quick. The next one, number 4. What sparks your creative juices? You know how you have those days when you can write, and then other days it looks like hieroglyphics? Today, my writing looks like hieroglyphics. So what sparks your creative juices? Is it painting or preaching or designing or doodling or building or speaking or selling? If you could figure out what sparks your creative juices, you're going to do yourself a favor. And these are all signposts. So let us go to the next signpost, and that is going to be number 5. Number 5. Of course, I'm going to ask you what. What is your choice of a hobby? And I want you to know that it's spelled with an O and not a U. So I'm not asking your choice for a hobby with a U, but a hobby or sports. This is a very important question. Whatever you do in your free time is a sign of your purpose. I mean, oftentimes we don't think about that. But if you like to paint in your free time, that's an indication of your purpose. If you like tinkering and doing things like that, that's a sign of your purpose. What do you like to do in your free time? Spend some time thinking about it. My next question, number 6, and this is probably one of the most important ones that I can put up on the board, is what do people compliment you on? And this is important because people see us differently, right? What do people actually compliment you on? All of us have a fan base, things that people love that we do. And you know, if your fans are not saying you're a great cook, I don't think you should go out and start a restaurant tomorrow. Find out what people say that you're good at. And, you know, do people compliment your writing, or do people compliment you on your singing? I mean, you know, personally, I think I can out-sing the best of them, but no one has ever signed me up for a contract, so that's why I talk, because they compliment me on my talking. This is an indication, all of these things are indications of what your purpose is driving you to do. I mean, you know, many of you have these amazing abilities, and some of you have amazing abilities to sell, and some, you know, of you can literally sell ice to an Eskimo, or even better, you can sell a squirrel his coat of, the covering of its coat. I mean, some of you have great abilities of selling. So if you can find out what people compliment you on, gee, you're a good speaker, or you're really good at cooking. These are usually signposts of your purpose. Once again, this is a sign of your personal purpose. And we sometimes stumble through life, and we happen over things, and people are saying to us, look, you're good at this, you're good at that. And listen to what people are saying. Let me quickly go to give you just a few more points. Let's quickly go through the next one. The next one, number 7. Who is your mentor? You might say, well, Dr. Trimm, I really don't have a mentor. Well, if you don't have a mentor, if you could choose anyone in this world to be your mentor, who would that person be? Who do you admire the most, and why? And then let's jump to number 8. Number 8 is, what makes you feel alive? I mean, what will make you jump out of the bed in the morning? What makes you feel absolutely alive? I mean, it not only gets your juices going, but this is something that you could do every day, even if you weren't paid to do it. This is something that you can absolutely do every day. What is it that makes you feel alive? And then let's jump to number 9. Number 9 is, what at the end of the day, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? If you had to choose a profession, if you had to choose it, you've got all the money in the world and you had to choose a profession, what would you do? What profession would that be? In other words, you're not now working for money per se. What profession would that be? So let's go to our next one, which is going to be number 10. I already heard you. Please, Dr. Trimm, let me at least finish getting number 9 down. There it goes. What would you do if you had all the money in the world and you had to choose a profession? What would that profession be? So we're jumping from number 9. I love this board. This is my smart board. I just love it. This is where we give you life strategies. I love the fact that you could just erase it and keep it going. So what number were we on? I think we were on number 10. And what do you wish you could do if you were not afraid to do it? I mean, you look at everybody else, you're comparing yourself with everyone else, and somehow you get those butterflies in your stomach. You're kind of shy. You're kind of intimidated by the people that are around you that you think that can do this better than you. But, I mean, what would you do if you were not afraid to do it? And then number 11, which is a very, very important one as we talk about it, and we're coming down to the wire now of all the signposts. Number 11, what do you do naturally? I mean, what comes naturally to you? And be very specific. And please don't say, I naturally go to sleep and I naturally eat. We want the bigger things, the purpose-oriented things. What comes to you naturally? What do you do naturally? I mean, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind that you do naturally? And then number 12, what do you want people to say about your accomplishments when you die? Wow, before you say, well, that's kind of boring, it really is not. One of the things that one of my mentors, and of course he's dead, but one of my mentors said, he said, history is going to be kind to me because I intend to write it. It's never too late to discover your purpose. As your God-given purpose becomes clearer to you, you'll discover your life becoming more focused. Instead of feeling lost or like you're going around in a circle, you'll gain a new and better sense of direction, and you're going to be empowered to progress. I don't want you to let one more day slip through your fingers. Remember, purpose is that hidden seed of greatness. You have something amazing to offer this world, and it's time for you to unlock it. It's time for you to know your purpose now. Don't let doubt try to discourage you. Right now, it's whispering in your ear, trying to get your attention. Just ignore it. It may be stirring something in your heart, but discount it. But that stirring of the flame of passion, you've got to fan that. It's a sign that you were meant to be something. You were meant to do something greater than what you've settled for. So join me and we'll pursue our purpose together. Now watch this.
Have you lost control of your life? Unable to focus? Unable to even breathe? Do you feel you're spiraling out of orbit with no direction? You no longer have to live aimless or powerless anymore. Let Dr. Cindy help you discover your true purpose and unlock the power and greatness within you.
You are one thought away from change, one thought away from success. Change your thinking and make sure that it's aligned with your purpose. That is what you should think about every single day.
As a best-selling author, renowned teacher, mentor to major global corporations, and empowerment motivator to some of the most successful people in the world, Dr. Cindy Trimm will show you how to regain control over the outside forces ruling your life and reveal the secret to stepping into a life of joy, excitement, and fulfillment.
It all boils back down to the purpose that God has for my life.
It's time to reignite the fires of your passion and experience a higher level of life, love, and lasting satisfaction.
When you understand and accept who you were created to be, your destiny will flow through everything that you do. Take your first step towards purpose today, right now.
Walking in your full potential begins with Dr. Cindy's electrifying CD, Living Life on Purpose, as she uncovers the hidden keys to bring your life into focus and to fulfill the divine destiny you were created for. Dr. Cindy will lead you into transformational renewal and show you how to tap into everything you need today by putting these principles in place to work for you.
I've just developed and matured. I've taken along a lot of responsibility with my own life and my own actions, and I've really taken the driver's seat of my life.
You'll think greater, speak greater, and live greater, propelling you towards your ultimate God-given destiny and purpose.
If I would have known what I know now, I would have been a lot further than what I am today, and it all had to do with purpose. Stop going around in circles. Start today.
And as a part of this special offer, you'll also receive the explosive bonus CD, Unleash the Power of Prayer, a strategy for achieving your divine purpose. In this cutting-edge message, you'll learn how to manifest your power and purpose right now as you bring your thinking into harmony with destiny. This collection has been discounted for this exclusive offer only. Both the CD, Living Life on Purpose, and Unleash the Power of Prayer, normally $15 each, are yours now with your gift of only $20. Order this collection for yourself or someone you love who needs to gain direction or regain the passion for their calling. You are only one thought away from success. Make up your mind today that you will succeed and make it last by calling now. Order today and let Dr. Cindy help you begin to live life on purpose.